Okay, Angel and Andrea, I'm going to go over your lesson plan, or excuse me, activity plan. I have the marked document here so that I'm going to try to go back and forth between the rubric and the document to show you what I mean in the cases where I have not awarded points. So the first part of the activity plan, your objectives were good. You picked really good objectives and you had really good measurable behaviors there. So that was 5 points. For your connection to standards, your standards were clear to me. But because you did not explain how they were connected to the your objectives, and your standards and benchmarks were not explained, I couldn't grade this because you did not make the connection. You didn't write that part up. So I left that ungraded. It says no explanation, but alignment is clear. So you had the alignment. It made sense to me. Your objectives and your standards made sense to me. And your behaviors that you were looking at and your objectives were measurable. So that was all really good. But the 5 points was lost because there was no explanation about how they were connected. So that's the explanation for that. For your activity plan resources, you did have a very good list of the materials that you would need, so that was 3 points. For your procedures and introduction, under the portion called context, I'm going to show you here. In the context, I had some questions and things then, but you can see check. Everything was really good till I got to right here. And I have an exclamation point there because that does not, for me, feel like a student wrote that. It is not typical language that I've seen either of you use. So, and I also have not seen most students use that language. So I have questions about that. I have included that down here on the bottom. So you can see areas of concern and I've highlighted them. So because of that, you got 3.5 of the 7 points. So that, I'm sorry, I went down too far. You got 7.5 of the 15 points. My apologies, I goofed there. So we are, because of the context portion, having parts that didn't feel student written to me. So that was a loss of points there. I did, though, give you 7.5 points because in the beginning you did share why you felt the kids would be interested in it. You made a really good case for that, so you definitely deserved those points. Your plan and procedure was really good. I gave you all 20 points on that because bottom line is if somebody read it, they could reproduce it. So that was really important. So that was good, 20 points for that. Then when you got into modifications again, in your modifications, you had some writing here that also did not feel student written to me. It was a little confusing again, as it was before. The language modifications were fine. I felt those made sense and seemed to be written by a student. So I gave you 3.5, half of the points on that. And then for your closure, you had a good closure written up, and that was 5 points. So you have 5 points, then 8.5 points, then 28.5 points, then 7.5 plus 28.5 is 36, so you have 36 points, 39 points by adding that 3, and then adding 5 is 44 points. So again, 5, 8, 15.5, 35.5, 39, and 5 is 44. So that's the explanation for your points. Here are your areas of concern with the writing. I would recommend that you be very careful with this kind of problem regarding use of non-student generation descriptions of things. Just be very careful with that, because as an instructor, when I read it, it just did not feel clear to me that it was your writing. And it also just in general did not seem clear to me. I was not sure why this was included in your context and in your modification explanation. So I hope that helps you understand the grade. If you take 44 points of the 60 and you have 5 of the 30, then you have your total score for now. And then you have your reflection piece that will add to that. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope this is helpful to everyone to put this matter to a rest, because I know you guys did your best, and that I hope you can put it behind you and learn from it and move on. So I wish you all the best. I hope you have a wonderful break and ready to start fresh in the spring.